Hey guys, Mike coming back with a national video. Though even though I didn't go to the national this year, um, I was able to get this at the national with the help of a couple people. If you all have been watching the national videos, Sammy Thunder was walking around doing videos each day, looking at vintage tables and showing what was available. And uh, one of the items that was on one table was this photo here. Um, After I contacted Brian, who was at the show, B. Roth, as everybody knows him, he's a great guy, good friend of mine. We go way back. And I asked him if he'd go over to the table because Sammy would show a business card or tell you what table it was. So if you saw something you liked, you could stop at the table and talk and possibly get it, which I asked Brian to go over and take a look. He did. Um, he gave me a contact for the gentleman that ran the booth, and I talked to him and worked out a deal for this. What this is a 1908 photo of the St. Louis Browns. They were working spring training with a trainer in French Lick, Indiana. And the trainer's name was H.P. Wolf, French Lick, Indiana. And he sent this photo to Barney Pelty. As you see, to BP Pelty with compliments of Mr. H.P. Wolf, French Lick, Indiana. This is 1908. We can date it because there's Barney there right in the middle. And right in front of him is Rube Waddell. So I know there's a lot of Rube Waddell collectors and fans out there. That was his first year with the Browns. There's a gentleman named Tubby something in the picture that I know because, and I'll tell you about that in a second, that his last year with the Browns was 1908, and Waddell's first year with the Browns was 1908. So they can date the picture to 1908. This was in the Barney Pelty family auction from Love of the Game, I think back in 2022. This was in the Pelty estate since 1908 until the family ran a auction through Love of the Game in 2022. I think it spanned it over about a year through 2023. They sold all their memorabilia related to Barney. There was probably 30 something lots in the auctions, and I was fortunate enough to get about a third of them. This was one of them I did not get. It went for quite a bit of money, and I just couldn't buy everything. But I saw it on Net 54 once, maybe a year or so after the gentleman sold it. Before I could even see it, it was gone. So I thought it was completely in a collection put away for good until the National this year. And Sammy was doing his work at the table, and much to my surprise, he went past it, and I was like, wait a second, that looks like the Pelty picture. And I watched it 2 or 3 times, and there it was. So anyway, it's really a classic photo. It was in the estate since 1908 until 2022. Just a great picture of when teams used to do unusual things as far as training. They worked with a trainer at French Lick, Indiana, which it's a resort that's been there for a long time. And I'm sure they stayed at the hotel. It was back then they had these resorts where people would stay and they would get treatment with the mineral water that they thought would improve health and such. But they were nice resorts, and the players would get to go there and stay, and they would get trained, in this case by this H.P. Wolf would train them and help the Browns with preparing for the season, especially with Waddell being his first year that he was traded to the Browns. And just a classic period piece that means a lot as far as Pelty collectors would go, since it's been in the family for what, 122, about 114 years until it went to auction. Since that auction back in 2022, I've gotten, I think this is the third piece that I didn't win at the auction but had been listed as available. And I'm glad to put this. I'm trying to keep as much of that Pelty estate together as I can. If I see something that was in the auction, I love to buy it. And this was one of my favorites. French Lick, I guess it says resort. My wife and I, we've been married almost 40 years, and that's where we had our honeymoon way back when. It's just a special place to the family. Her family had been going there since the 60s. And I'm just so happy to get this in my collection and get more of the Pelty estate auction items together. If anybody here in this video has one, let me know. But I mean, this is a very nice large photo from the estate, and I am just tickled to own it. And even though I didn't get to go to the National, I am so glad to add it to the collection. And I can say I got this from the National this year. So thank you to Sammy, thank you to Brian for your all's help. And it's just very cool to see old Barney there, and prominent player like Waddell. I assume he was his career was winding down at that part, but just a very colorful character from baseball lore, and just a beautiful photo. So thank you for watching. I hope everybody either had a great time at the National or enjoyed watching the videos. And do watch them. This is proof that you never know when you're going to see something that maybe a friend can go get it, and you can add it to your collection. But thanks again. And I got another item too that I bought from a gentleman at the National, but it hasn't got here yet. So just excited to show this piece and put it in, get it in a safe place so it doesn't get any problems with it. But thank you, and take care, and I'll talk to you, Lord willing, soon. Bye-bye.